hell, where do we start this thing? I don't know. All right, I guess we'll go for it. What's up, Jake Blue here. Here to share a little adventure I had just last week with my dad down in southern Florida. Originally, this was supposed to be a really like a kind of father-son golf trip. We were just gonna play a ton of golf courses, but it actually ended up turning into a very full-fledged experience of southern Florida. So cue that brand new intro. Let's get started. My name is Jake Blue. I believe that the greatest joys, wonders, and beauties of our world do not come from our achievements, but rather the journeys we take to achieve them. The adventures, the expeditions, the wild, unforeseen consequences of our actions are what make us proud to have lived. So of all the titles we hold throughout life, I believe the number one most important to remember is that we are all everyday adventurers. So our father-son golf trip started out with a trip through the Miami traffic to the airport to pick up my dad flying in Fort Lauderdale. I'd already been down here in Florida for a while. This is still Florida right now. I'm trying to get back to the West Coast as we speak, but I've been down here in Florida for a long time. So the first step was just picking up my dad from the airport. Welcome to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You can't really see any palm trees or anything right now because I'm in the airport about to go pick up my dad for a father-son golf trip that we're going to be doing this week over at, apparently, that's weird. It's like, can you hear that? Speakers are talking to me. They can tell I'm here. But we're doing a father-son golf trip for this on a private golf course in a private community thanks to one of our family friends. I feel very fortunate. I'm about to pick up my dad. Let's go have some fun. You made it, Dad! Where's your bag? Did it lose your bag, did it? Oh, no. Okay, so you had a nice experience. Came in over the Gulf of Mexico. After reuniting with my dad, which was so fun, it's been a really long time, we ended up spending the next 2 hours and like 38 minutes or something in traffic to drive like 32 miles or something like that. It was ridiculous the amount of traffic that was down there in this Miami area. Florida is like a northern part of Miami. It's like the same thing with LA and San Diego. They're not really separate cities anymore. They just kind of all blend together because there's so many freaking people down here in these very nice environments. So Miami was the same thing. Driving through this shit, man, was so crazy. But we made it. And the exciting part about this trip is that we were going to hang out with a family friend. His name's Tom, and we didn't know a whole lot about him before we got there. All we knew is that my dad and him really liked to play golf. But we had a pleasant surprise waiting for us when we finally got there of this like $2.5 million condo. Tom invited us into his home down in Florida. It was a dream come true. I'll show you it right now.
These elevators on this side, there's 7 might be on this side, because there's another 7 here.
This is city living.
Yeah.
Elevators and high rises.
Look at this condo. Look at this condo, man. Wow. Check out all this. So this is where my dad is living right now. He'll be sleeping. Look at these high rises. We're in. Oh my gosh, we gotta let. I got it. I don't even know what to say. It's so beautiful.
It's a lot of work, and it's turned on for 5 months. You know, foul or whatever. Well, Marty,
And the piece beauty of the song right here. Look at this. I'm sure it's gonna be much prettier in the day, but right now, like, this is downtown Miami. Good morning. Let's look at this view. Look at this view out here in the condo. We're about to go play golf down here at the course. We're gonna go maybe see some manatees out in the water here. But if that doesn't look like vacation, I don't know what does. Oh, let's go. we were feeling pretty high and mighty on life the next morning, staying like the rich folks, you know. It was so fun, and Tom was so good to us. So we had a lot of fun that morning. We had some good breakfast. We walked around, saw the beautiful view, checked out this sweet hot tub, got to soak in for the morning. Right after that, it was time to head down to play our first full round of golf in what had been months. For me, almost 6 months. For my dad, at least 3 months since he played a real full round of golf. So it was really exciting. But golf is a painful sport as well. We're getting ready to go golfing, and Tom just set us up with all the good gear. If you want to say hi, Tom.
Hey guys.
You set us up with all the good stuff. Look at all these clubs. We came. It's like Tom's treating us like royalty. It's been a few months since we played golf. Let's check out my dad's form here. A little thin. A little thin, that's all. Doing good. That feels pretty good. Okay, we're out here on the course officially playing golf. Here we are. Frank here is. We're getting to hang out with all the fun guys. You guys that are out here every day playing golf. Pretty cool. It's my shot. Let's go. Oh, splash. That reflection on that first shot is that was a bad shot. I went OB. This is the second shot of the game, and I'm already out of bounds playing golf. Golf is such a mental game. It'll wear you down. It's like chew you up, spit you out so fast, but you gotta stay in it. We're out here for 18 holes. This is hole 1. We got a lot of shots left. Gotta stay focused. Check this out. I just noticed that they have this. It tells you exactly what to do. You can see where we are on the hole, where we need to go. I had no idea, and I was struggling so hard, but it tells you exactly what the yardage is. I'm not playing very good yet. This should help. We're good. What's up, big man? You are so pretty. Oh, look how fast he is. Okay, guys, check this out. This massive animal is an American crocodile. Now, I have to be careful because they are really fast when they want to move that way, but this American crocodile is American saltwater crocodile, not an alligator. This is a crocodile, and they were almost completely extinct from the United States at one point. These are one of the few animals that can survive in salt water and fresh water. They migrate through the ocean, right? They're like ocean-living crocodiles a lot of the time, and it's amazing to be able to see one. They get up to 14 feet long. They're some of the biggest animals in North America, definitely an alpha predator, and it's amazing to see so many of them that you can actually see them out on the golf course now. Still endangered, but a creature that's making a phenomenal comeback. Total honor to be able to see one. I personally finished all 18 holes, just like my dad did, but I did not keep score to preserve my sanity. My dad, Tom, our friend, I think his name was Spanish name, I can't remember, it was with us. It did keep score. They played for money. That's what they always do. Golf is really fun to gamble at, apparently. Never been one for it. But golf is a funny sport because at my current level, which I'm not that good, I'm good enough where I can hit maybe a birdie, maybe 2 birdies on a really good day on an 18-hole course. And then that same round, I can also, in any given hole, blow up to like 10 plus shots on any hole, which is why golf is such a fun sport. It doesn't just test your physicality, it tests your mental fortitude, which is one of the reasons I love playing with my dad. My dad's a really, really good golf player, won tournaments, done stuff like that, just at kind of the recreational level. He's not a pro, but he plays really, really well. But my favorite part about it is that he can kind of tell when I'm getting in a groove or when I'm falling apart, and he calls me out on it. He says, Jake, play better. And while it doesn't always feel good to have him call me out and play better, but I just hit my third shot into the water on that same hole. That actually sucks a lot. But on that same kind of path, it's really good to have somebody to challenge your mind and kind of push you to get better even when things suck and you're playing golf. So we finished up that 18 rounds and we were both pretty mentally exhausted after not playing golf for a long time. My dad didn't play as good as he usually did, and I didn't even keep score, which is why we were pleasantly surprised to learn that Tom had a little evening entertainment planned for us.
Ready?
Jake's already gone.
Dutchman's not the kind of man who keeps his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. That's a secret that only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is going in summer, Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes it. Thinks those tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he could be. The Lord could only see that sometimes she sees. I fucked that up. In his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Dear Margaret, who remembers that day? And dear Margaret, remembers that for me.
Hey! Nice job!
I promise you try.
Little burgers.
Oh,
You got something else?
Yeah.
wow.
That's a lot. Ooh, look at that.
Oh,
That's nice looking. That's beautiful for chicken.
what is this? What did you get? You sapper, right?
That's
Oh, this salmon.
They don't give you much room, do they?
Bon appetit, guys.
Beautiful.
Wait a minute.
As someone that's lived in the back of my car for basically 6 months now, I can tell you that all the glitz and luxury and guitar playing and great food is super fun for about 36 hours, and then it wears off pretty fast. It's funny how that works, isn't it? We're always looking at these big mansions thinking, man, what would it be like to live there? And then you finally get the opportunity to live in a very rich community behind gates with people that have a private golf course literally right out their backyard, that you go down the elevator, you step out onto the golf course, and it's fun for about 36 hours. And what happened to me and what happens to my dad is you start to realize that it's not really the real world. When you live in these environments where everything's happy and glitzy and luxurious, it's almost toxically comfortable, where it breeds this sort of, it hurts almost to be there. And I don't know how to describe it other than the fact that we can be there. It's not how I'm built, and some people are raised in that, they love going back to it, but it's not what you'll find in the real world is. It's not all this. It's not how fun life is, unpredictable and exciting. So my dad and I woke up the next morning after that golf trip feeling kind of desperate to get out. We needed to go do something, so we drove down to downtown Miami with no real clue where we were going. we just had to go somewhere knowing that we were gonna find what we needed. So we tried to go to an aquarium, it was closed, but right down the road was this great little golf course. So we walked in, they said, great, you guys can come play. There's no carts allowed on the course today, which was perfect for us. We were looking for a little challenge physically. We've been eating a ton. We've been treated so well by our hosts, Tom and Juli, that we were looking for a challenge. And they're like, okay, great. Yeah, it's 250 bucks to get our rental clubs, everything. And it's also 7 miles long. We're on a little bit of a solo day today.
Yeah.
We had to get out of the condo. It was a little too luxurious for our kind. We had to get out, enjoy a little bit. So we're out here now walking 7 miles on this little golf course in Key Biscayne. Biscayne? Yeah, so it'll be fun. Very sore, but much accomplished and happy to be able to accomplish that long walk and being able to play pretty well on the golf course. We retreated back to Tom's place for one last night of luxury before we boogied down to the very southernmost point of the continental United States, Key West. Today we say goodbye to the beautiful home up in Coral Gables. It's finally time to head down to the Keys now, but he's never been to.
Yes.
One of my favorite feelings in the entire world is the start of an adventure. The start of taking that leap that scares you, but you know you got to do it. And that's exactly how my dad and I were feeling. We didn't know if we were going to find a hotel room in Key West. We didn't know how much money it was going to cost. We didn't know so many things. There was a lot of uncertainties when we were leaving, but we knew it was the right thing to do. So we left, we were off, we were down into the traffic for about 120 miles or so, 130 miles maybe. And it's a pretty reasonable drive from where we come from. 130 miles takes less than 2 hours usually, so you can make it. But Miami is not northern Idaho, so that 130 mile drive, instead of taking just over 2 hours, ended up taking about 5.5 hours to get down to the beach. By the time we got down there, my poor dad was ready to jump out of the car. But we finally made it, and beaches have a way of curing ailments. I made it to Key West again in my second time here, and I totally forgot how long the drive is to get down to this beach. Done it twice now, probably never do it again, but we're gonna enjoy it while we're here. After wandering around the beach for about an hour and a half and seeing like literally some drop dead gorgeous girls that maybe some of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life, that almost made my poor dad faint. He's single, by the way, don't worry, but it was really fun. We walked around and something about all that had a way of rejuvenating us. But I found my guy after about that long that was kind of the reason I was there. I like to look at like these big highlights on why I visit somewhere, on the big thing I got out of it. The dude I met was named Randall. It was a killer slackliner and also just about the wisest dude I've ever met. Like the wisdom of somebody, he had the wisdom of somebody that was like 50 years older than what he actually was. So the dude had model quality looks, this zen-like appearance, and he was super cool. He kind of brought me over and taught me how to do a little bit of slacklining. After the beach and relaxing, it was time to go off to maybe one of my favorite restaurants I've ever been to, called the Stoned Crab in Key West, where we had an incredible meal with all these fish off the edge. I'll just show you, check it out. we came down, we got a nice little, we're at the nice restaurant right now, but we got this fancy hotel room that we thought was gonna be super fancy, but it was like double the amount. It was like triple the amount of what we'd have to pay for a normal hotel room down in Key West. So we booked a little fishing trip tomorrow. We're gonna go enjoy it, and this place is still beautiful. Look at this awesome restaurant we're at. Oh my gosh, we saw the fish in the water today, so you can't be too upset with anything that went on. We're in a beautiful spot. We got a fishing charter, even though that most of them were booked. We get to go out on the ocean, and now we get to eat some awesome food tonight before we start heading back and get him home. That's awesome. I'm so appreciative that you ordered. Oh, look at that lobster, Dad! Oh my God. So Key West was a great time. My dad got exactly what he wanted. I really wanted to show him some of these places. But Key West, Florida in general, during the December, January, February months, is one of the most expensive places you can go in the country. Our one-night hotel room there cost $500 for the hotel room, about $499, something like that. It was really close to $500 for a very below-average hotel room. I was not impressed at all. They were charging very high prices, and there were a lot of hotels that could have charged $1,000 plus a night. Given that I've been living off of like maybe $50 a day, right? Living out here in my car, I'm not paying rent, not doing anything like that. It was a lot of money for me. It's money that like I could do for one day. It's money that my dad felt comfortable doing for a few days. But it's not as fun when you're paying all this money for something that you're not really enjoying. So we decided to go back to Tom's for the last night. We did have fun in Key West, don't get me wrong. It was awesome. We got to see these beaches. The meal at Stone Crab was amazing. But I thought there were better places we could stay, which is why having great friends is a great thing to do. So we went back to Tom's that night, drove back through all the traffic to pull some shenanigans and borrow a kayak that may or may not have been ours. So they weren't using it, so we decided to go have a little bit of fun with it for a little while. Check it out. So that was it. That was my trip down to Southern Florida with my dad. We had a ton of fun doing it. I was really grateful to have him here. Today I'm filming this video from this narration video from, I think it's Panama City, Florida is where I am right now. I'm in the very northern panhandle part of Florida, somewhere up there. It's a beautiful spot. Hopefully that tsunami from Tonga doesn't hit me while I'm filming this. Feel bad for all those people. So I'm scared of tsunamis, and I'm getting away from the coast, and that's kind of what I have going on next. That's not the only reason I'm getting away from the coast, though. I miss the West. I miss going back. I miss the mountains. I miss the animals. I miss the people. I miss the environments that I grew up in a little bit more. So I'm feeling a lot more of Utah, Arizona, Wyoming, all those places that aren't too snowy that I can kind of survive in my car right now during this time of the year. It's January right now, so very cold. And what we got coming up next is I'm going to Baton Rouge, Florida. I'm taking a flight over to Scottsdale, Arizona for a business event. I got an Airbnb. I'm going to be hiking some of the mountains, hanging out with some of my close personal friends that I'm so excited to see. So if you want to stay up to date with all those adventures, you want to be able to ask me questions, the best way to do that is through the adventure list link in the description of this YouTube video. What is the adventure list? Glad you asked. It's the free subscription email list that I have that I send daily updates to all of my subscribers virtually every day wherever I am in the world. I'm writing a email today from Panama City about how not to get arrested by the cops, because I've been woken up by the cops so many times on this adventure across the country, yet I've never gotten a ticket, I've never been arrested, and usually most of my interactions with the cops end very happy and very friendly. So I'm going to be writing an email on that today. I write about all the experiences that I have that don't end up making it to camera. So all that stuff is through the adventure list, and it's totally free subscription. So go to the link, or go to the description and click the link to subscribe to the adventure list. If you want more daily updates from me, I'd love to have you on there. I'd love to talk with you more. Plus, then you get first access to all these YouTube videos as well. So I think that's gonna do it for this YouTube video. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for looking at the ocean. This is a brand new video. I put so much work into putting this one together, so I hope it actually turned out. Editing videos is a process, but I'm getting better at it, and I appreciate your patience with me. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.